You would drive your mother up the wall on a regular basis.
I was in a lot of pain and mental discomfort.
Kelly,
Get the woke book out, for God's sake.
Well, clearly there must have been something wrong if I was that upset.
Oh, Kelly, you didn't have to have a reason. You just would. Don't you remember the fucking Bloom episode in the zoo?
No.
Fucking hell. Go to London Zoo. And there again, it was a fucking guy with 1,000 balloons.
Oh, is that when I let go of the balloon?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Twice.
Crazy. Hey, but that's how it goes.
I need to go to a happier place.
I feel romantic.
Shut up, Ozzy!
Just go to bed, darling.
All right, change the subject.
Okay, everyone, welcome back to part 2 of the Political Compass episode.
Dun, dun, dun.
Let's see how morbid and miserable this one is.
Now, I will say, so far we've done very good about no fighting. It hasn't like fucking kicked off.
No, I was really impressed that none of us have fought yet, but
It's say.
Oh, it's not over till it's over.
it's just, I don't know, like, I'm not educated enough to answer these questions properly sometimes. Like, I have my opinion on stuff, but I could be more educated on the topic, if you know what I'm saying.
Why do you find it hard to verbalize it?
It's not that I find it hard to verbalize. It's that you just never want to offend anyone. So I'm so scared to fucking say anything.
Yeah, and it's funny too, because my beliefs evolve and change, and I often get afraid to like publicly take a stance on something because I don't know.
10 years down the line, you
I'll
could
give you a
think
perfect
differently.
example. I made some comments about Ozempic recently where it was like 50% of the people hated it, 50% of people liked it. And then on TikTok, everyone hated it. But the truth is, my opinion used to be the same as the people who didn't like my opinion on Ozempic until I met somebody who lost weight from Ozempic and it changed their life. Not you, Mum. You weren't like huge to begin with.
Yeah, it was.
No, you weren't. And it, like, how it changed their life and how they explained to me how it took the mental obsession with food away, and it allowed them, from that reprieve, it allowed them to dig deeper through therapy and really figure out who they were and how life-changing it was for them.
Yeah.
That it completely changed my opinion on it. So I'm like, yeah, it's great. If there's a medication out there that can help people lose weight, then what's it so bad about it?
Well, the other side of the spectrum, it didn't work.
Well, then that, what do you mean?
Some people it doesn't work.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just
That
that's
just
no one's
sucks.
fault.
That's the draw.
That's
That
just
just sucks for that person.
yeah. But I mean, ultimately, the subjects we're talking about are so divisive. That's why we're talking about them. Half the people are going to like them, half the people aren't.
Yeah.
That's what society is.
Yeah.
If everybody agreed with what you
I think that the trouble today is that if people don't agree with your opinion, they're so foul the way they let you know and the words that they choose to use to you that people just don't want to open their mouths anymore because they're too afraid of the assault that comes with your opinion.
It's the social media dilemma.
Yeah.
People live in their own echo chambers because they control what information they see. They drown out the information they don't like, and they shout down people that piss them off all online. And so they go out into the real world, and when they encounter something that they go like, well, wait, like that person's wearing a Trump hat and I don't like it. Like, I'm gonna, and it's, well, who gives a fuck? Really, at the end of the day.
But America hasn't got a non-biased news channel.
No, God, no.
I don't think anybody does anymore. I thought the BBC were, but they're not.
No.
They are absolutely not.
No.
And
I mean,
to that point,
they came after you.
To that point, I am going to ask you our first question.
Go on then.
Okay. There is now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment, meaning that people are getting their news from like TikTok or and taking it as 100% factual.
Yes. I agree with that. I strongly agree with that. I think it's worrying that
It's worrying, but the thing that you've got to understand is half of political news is propaganda anyway, and you will always get, I don't care what country in the world you live in, today you will always get a news station that is behind it or against it, and they edit their news to go with their own political
agenda.
beliefs.
Yeah, the people that put the show on, if they don't agree, it's a show, it's a news show.
But the news always wants it to be more dramatic than it actually is.
But it's like you look at, I watched a thing once where they had all around the world, they did a story on this one thing that happened, and it was completely different in every country. It was amazing. Some countries made it, I think, massive, but other countries made it not.
The way that the news will lie, they will put up pictures of some place and say this was London. And it's not London. It was a picture taken in Amsterdam in a different scenario, but they used it to make it look more dramatic. That's the sort of thing that they constantly do.
Yeah.
Even with stupid things like the weather. I'll never forget there was one station, it wasn't like New York or LA, a local station, and there was a flood. And the woman was talking like this, and you could only see her from the waist up. But behind her was a guy in a canoe, and he's doing this. And when her piece finished, the camera was still rolling, and the guy got out of the canoe, and the water was just above his ankles. But it made their presentation more dramatic.
Yeah. When they said we were down near Brighton rehearsing on this farmland, I said, the news, 6 o'clock news said, there will be slight winds tonight. And that by 9 o'clock, the fucking place was blown to bits.
Yeah, but that's them getting the weather forecast wrong. But
not lying about the results. They didn't say
But it was slightly like there wasn't a tree standing from fucking Brighton to London.
Well, that was what happened when I was in England recently. Well, recently, a year and a half, 2 years ago. You
can't trust anything, especially online. You cannot trust.
No.
You have to.
Where's the source?
Fact check and see.
Where's the source?
Yeah, I always think but that you have to get your news from multiple sources and look and do some research and read more than the headline.
There are some fantastic journalists that are still out there around the world, and if you're lucky enough to find them and follow them, but it's still a handful compared to the ones that are all bent.
Okay, so yes, we're talking about worrying, the worrying fusion of information and entertainment. What about when entertainers begin to get on the soapbox and start, preaching politics or, things of that nature? What do you think of that?
Don't get me started.
There's too much gray area in this sense that what if the person is actually right about what they're saying?
Mm-hmm. And who's to say?
And who's to say
it's right or wrong?
In that environment, the world of politics, you can't really believe anything they say.
The thing is, it depends what they are saying, and if that person is educated in the topic that they are commenting on at the time, and their facts. I mean, Susan Sarandon, I admire her work. I think she's a great actress, but she made a statement before Christmas that shocked me about politics, and I'm thinking, are you that dumb, Mrs.? People have to know. It's not even important to share it because it was so insane. But there are people that are definitely educated, that have definitely been to these countries they're talking about. If it's something political and they've lived there, they know people from there, and you absolutely will listen to their opinion, because everybody's got their own opinion about everything. If it's an educated opinion that you've actually been there, you've witnessed it, and you're not attached to a political party.
But everyone's attached to a political party at this stage of the game.
I ain't.
I'm not.
Well, all right, besides you guys, but for the most part. Hey, it's Jack Osbourne, and the Osbournes podcast is sponsored by Stamps.com. Look, we are well into 2024, the holidays are long behind us, and it's time to get cranking with your business. So what a better way to keep that business moving forward than with Stamps.com. The Stamps.com app is like a post office right in your pocket, helping you stay on top of things, even if you're always on the go. Stamps.com is a stress-free solution for every small business. I'm always on the go, and no matter where I am traveling for work, I can use Stamps.com to print postage. All I need is a computer and a printer. It's that simple. Hey, they even send you a free little scale, so you have everything you need just to get started. And if you need a package pickup, you can easily schedule it through your Stamps.com dashboard. I mean, they really make it too damn easy. Keep your mailing and shipping moving at the speed of your business with Stamps.com. Sign up with promo code Osbournes for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, plus free postage and a free digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click the microphone at the top of the page, and enter the code Osbournes.
Okay, next question. Abstract art doesn't represent anything. Shouldn't be considered art at all.
Disagree.
I disagree.
Yeah,
I
totally
disagree.
disagree.
I'm like, who's to say what art is anyway?
If you like a fucking painting with a red stripe and you think it makes you happy at all, you can get into it. It's like saying who likes cream cakes and who likes chocolate cakes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you like one or the other, you should ban the other one.
But that's what makes art so special.
That's
is
what I'm
that
saying.
It can be anything.
Yeah, and everybody sees
I
something
see it, I
different
go,
in it.
what the fuck is art about that? But then again, I am gonna like everything.
What's the craziest piece of art you've ever seen?
I saw in Alton's house, you'd got this fucking big thing full of dead flies. And I'm going, what the fuck is that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what the fuck is that?
I think it was the
But if it was done
turd
by
that was
someone,
like £3 million with the sprinkles.
The banana. The
You think
duct
the duct tape banana?
Yeah, but once I like read about it and I understood like
I see. That's why I didn't. The whole concept behind it, I thought was cool.
yeah. 'Cause
What about Tracy Emin's pubes?
It's pretty
Yeah, I mean-
wild.
what?
Tracy Emin, this English artist, she cut off her old pubes, stuck it on a bit of paper, wrote something around it, and sold it.
It's like the signature, because it's been done by a certain person who's in vogue. It's called art.
Yeah. Or what about when they had that cow and they'd cut it in half?
Yeah, Damien
And-
Hirst.
What
Yeah.
about the one where you buy a painting and you watch the piece of fruit die? And it's, rot away.
A better question would be, what about people that they spend fortunes for a piece of art, but you don't physically have it? You've just got the, what do you call it?
Share, I think that's cool.
The NFT.
Yeah.
You can buy a share in a painting which goes up in value. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
'Cause you can't buy, you can't
Oh, yeah,
afford.
that's a great investment.
Yeah.
So if there's a group of you, a consortium, and you all put money in, yeah, I think that's okay. Sure.
That's what a lot of the big, when you hear about these pieces selling for tens of millions of dollars, it's usually like a group.
But then you find out it's bogus. The painting is a fucking fake painting.
Well, yeah. Did you see the whole thing about the Da Vinci that was sold, which was
No.
discovered, and everyone, and there's a huge argument whether it's a real Da Vinci or not, because they had to have someone refurbish it, and it wasn't complete. It was
Was it under another painting?
Yeah.
yeah, And it's a whole thing, and I actually don't believe it was a Da Vinci.
How do I know it was a Da Vinci?
Because Da Vinci did 2 of every one of his paintings. Like his main paintings, he did 2, and there's only 1 of this one. And so where's the other one? That's
Perhaps
one. That's one
he
thing.
got pissed off with painting that.
Yeah. There's a. But
Can't they tell by like
It's
brushstrokes
so-
and
they can, but they
The
believe.
age of the paint.
Didn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't he paint the Mona Lisa?
Yeah, and there's 2 Mona Lisas.
Where was the other one?
the other
other
one
one-
wasn't it found in Birmingham or something like that?
Islington.
Islington.
They found it in Islington, and it's in a private gallery in Switzerland. Yeah, it's called the Isleworth. I think Isleworth.
But there's still a lot of paintings missing from the. Oh, that guy had a fucking.
The Scream that got stolen. You know
Yeah.
the famous picture. That
Yeah, that's brilliant, that
During
one.
World War II, when the Nazis were marching, they didn't like modern art. They said burn this, burn this, burn this. And this guy stored them in his fucking house,
Yeah.
and he left them to his son, and they were worth fucking millions. And he'd sell one every.
He would take it on a train
Yeah, and
from Germany to Switzerland, and he would auction them off every couple of years. And apparently, his whole apartment was stocked with art.
and they happened to, just by chance, the police on his train checked his passport now, just by chance. That's great when that happens.
Okay, next question.
Go on.
Sorry, next question. Here we are. In criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation.
Punishment should be more.
In criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation.
You need both.
Disagree. Yeah.
Absolutely, you need it side by side.
And I also think it depends on the crime. Like, how are you going to rehabilitate someone who's a child murderer?
Or a child molester, because they say you can never get cured.
Yeah.
Pedophilia should be fucking locked away.
Look
forever.
at Gary Glitter.
I think that they should get rid of all your bits if you are into pedophilia.
Florida just passed. They just made it eligible. If you're a repeated pedophile, you could be sentenced to death. And I agree with that.
yeah.
Well, no,
I
if
do
you
too.
Go,
Yeah.
If you go to a foreign country and get caught being a pedophile, when you get back here, you get put in jail.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's
I-
right.
I agree. I mean,
I do believe, though, that...
nothing is too severe for pedophiles, because it's the worst thing out there.
I do think, though, that there is more... There should be more rehabilitation in prisons
Yeah.
for crimes that you can be rehabilitated out of.
Well, because I think the system is failing in many ways. And
It's the money.
in
The
what-
governments don't want to come up with the money.
Yeah.
But nobody is being rehabilitated. They're just learning how to be better criminals and going back in.
But too, that goes along with how they let prisons be privately owned, privately run. So they're not under the government. So it's like they probably look for the price for people to rehabilitate you
Yeah.
and go, fuck that, we ain't doing that.
Did you ever see the documentary about the juvenile court judge that was getting paid out from the private juvenile prison in the county?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how many kids he sent to jail for years for smoking at school? And
But who pay? What's how do they?
The government gives them
the
money
prison
for...
was paying the judge to send kids to their prison because it was privately run.
They make more money the more people they have in there.
Who pays for the prisons?
they like a private company will build a prison and then they will charge the government
Oh yeah.
to
Per
house
person, like
yeah.
they do at schools. Some schools here do that.
Yeah. And so, but the judge, he was a real piece of shit. Throw the book at him for, he would give the kids the maximum sentence for every single
I
infraction.
remember seeing it.
And he, and when he was all cowering because he was going to prison at the end of it, he was all scared. I was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I know I don't think the guy's
Next
still alive.
question.
Okay. Mothers may have careers, but their first duty is to be a homemaker.
Don't agree.
I don't agree.
Don't agree, because sometimes what happens if your wife happens to have a better job than you do, and So the wife goes to work, the husband will stay at home, take care of the kids, maintain the home. So that is such an old view. It's
Antiquated.
really
Okay,
dated.
okay, what about the man and the woman work? They employ a nanny so they can work.
Well, then they're blessed to be able to do that.
Yeah.
It's something wrong with it. Something.
You did it.
I think that...
Wait, no. But
Something-
that's what you guys did.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. I can't say, well, yeah, that's wrong. If you're building a life together, you do the best that you possibly can at the time for your children. And if it will benefit your children that we both go out to work,
Yeah. I suppose so.
nothing is perfect.
It's-
Nothing is
it's weird,
perfect.
it's weird.
Something's got to give.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jack, for interrupting you.
No, I just think it's situational.
Yeah, it is.
And I don't think the woman has to be the only one that is the homemaker. I think the family makes the home, and
Yeah.
it's very antiquated and old fashioned. And
Get in the kitchen, woman. I don't know what you're talking about.
you get a shit meal.
Do you think your wife should cook homemade food?
No, I don't think. No.
Some of the best cooks in the world, there's more men that cook than women now.
I think that Sid cooks amazing stuff, and he learned all from his mum. And like they laugh at me because I don't know anything. But I will say I make the best scrambled eggs out of any one of them. And they say if you can master an egg, then you can cook anything.
Well,
So
I'm
maybe
still
I have
trying.
the talent.
Your mum either gets it right or completely fucks it up.
But
When it's right, it's great.
you used to cook all right.
Yeah,
always
Dad,
said
you did.
You always
Yeah.
said you were a shit cook, but you actually could cook okay.
But when I cook, I cannot eat.
I can't eat what I've cooked.
If I cook a meal, I cannot eat it. I'm fucked it up.
I don't enjoy it as much if I cook it myself.
It's fucking pain in the ass.
Go on.
All right. The business person and the manufacturer are the most important. Sorry, let me start that one again. The business person and the manufacturer are more important than the writer and the artist.
Oh,
So the creative world is not as important as the business world.
business
Yes.
or industrial world.
No,
I think creative world.
Yeah,
don't
I think they all
understand
feed
it.
into each other.
So
like
it's
if
the whole package needs each other to work.
yeah.
You can't have one without the other.
So I
Next question.
strongly disagree with that one. I think they inspire each other. That's the thing. It's like it's a circle.
Yeah.
If you get one dodgy,
listen,
if you get a good team, it's great. But you only got to have one that's not as into the pro.
because whatever you produce needs to be sold. So without the music for the sound bed and then the visuals, you're not going to sell it. Unless, of course, it's a gun or a plane or whatever.
Maybe a gun or a plane.
Because they don't advertise that. People are brought in to see those.
Yeah, they market
Things.
it. They don't
Yes.
advertise it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of child adoption.
What?
So basically, I think it's Florida, is saying that if you are a same-sex couple in a loving relationship, you should be excluded from the possibility of adopting a child, which I think is really wrong because they're saying you can have your own children. And I don't think that that's fair
Same
at all.
sex.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if a same-sex couple shouldn't
There's
be allowed.
There's two women that are married and they want children, but they don't want to have the baby. They want to adopt a child that needs a home. And some states won't allow that if it's same-sex marriage.
Well,
I think it's so wrong.
I don't know.
Once again, just government overreach. It's like, who gives a fuck?
If it's a loving...
If you pass the vetting, if you know...
And there are plenty of kids that get adopted to
yes,
opposite
but,
sex couples
but,
that the kids are abused. Like it's
they're always getting divorced, aren't they? Oh,
everyone's getting. I mean, divorce
Everybody.
isn't a gender or a a sexual what it's not.
It's a human
It's
thing.
a human thing. Yeah.
We're a rarity, me and you. You've been married that long?
Yeah, I don't have very many friends whose parents are still together, except for Sammy and Fleur.
Colin and Nick.
Yeah, that's for Fleur.
It's gone different holidays for a few weeks.
Go on.
Okay, next question. Those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care.
Sure.
Absolutely. And the thing is that if you earn, this is what I think they should do in the UK, where the, free medical care is, the system is so pushed. There are not enough doctors, not enough hospitals, that the rich should not be able to use it for free unless, of course, it's a case of an accident. Because private hospitals, you can't get in like that. It has to be NHS hospital. But for medical care, if you earn over so much money, there are millionaires, billionaires that still use the medical system that's free.
Yeah.
And I think to take the
Resources.
and give it to the people that really need it, that could never pay for it.
I'll tell you a story. Mum and I had this friend who got married in Europe, and they bought some mushrooms from a shop. And there's mushrooms in that world. There's so many poisonous.
It was in France that this
And so
happened.
many, but they look alike. They came back to England and they decided to cook up these mushrooms, and they were deadly poison. And they did open heart surgery, and they was going, why am I in the National Health? They rushed into National Health, but they had private. No, they were like freaking out. They didn't go to a private hospital, and the guy goes, well, did you want to live or die? What I'm saying is,
If you're in a car accident or a situation like that, you can't go to a private hospital in England. They don't have emergencies.
Yeah, but if you want spine surgery, you should.
And you can afford it,
Yeah.
you go to a private hospital.
but then again, what happened to me? We went to a private hospital, completely fucked me up.
Yeah, because we went to a doctor with no ethics. So there are plenty of those worldwide
But you don't.
where they work on volume. They want volume.
But then,
But that's the thing too, again, about private hospitals. They want the volume. They want the heart attacks. They want the, I'm going to sew your arm back on patients.
For as many times, I always thought they knew what they were fucking doing.
They do.
Yeah, I know, but
Oh, you're talking about surgeons?
But there must be so many fuck ups that you never hear about.
Well, medical malpractice, death due to medical fuck ups is like the #1 cause of death in America. Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I believe it is. I believe it's medical malpractice.
That's
But
crazy.
you never hear.
Oh,
You
sorry,
should-
third leading cause is medical malpractice.
Okay.
I don't feel like you should have. I love that we have the NHS in the UK. I think it's so important that people have access to healthcare.
Absolutely.
But if you have the money to pay for it yourself, don't take that away from somebody who doesn't.
Yeah,
because
who's
those lists are
waiting
so
3
long.
years for an operation, let them take that place. No, and I'm not talking about people who are wealthy, but people who are extremely wealthy.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to see a billionaire in your NHS doctor appointment waiting room.
You don't. And there was a situation last year where they asked the Prime Minister if his family used the national health system, and he wouldn't answer the question. And I'm like shouting at the TV, obviously, because he's privately wealthy anyway, apart from being...
But they use the NHS.
No. But he wouldn't own up because he thought it would look badly on him that he used private care. But the thing is, no, you're doing the right thing by not having your children go to NHS because there are poor people that are waiting years to be seen.
A lot of people
and
die
somebody who
waiting.
can
I
afford
know.
private, do it.
But the NHS is good, but it's also bad because it's good if
If the system's not stretched, it's like free schooling. If your system is stretched, if you've got 35 kids in a classroom, it's impossible to take care of 35 kids with one teacher and
When I
say
was
a
in school,
sub-teacher too.
we had 45 kids in the classroom.
Get out of here.
45 kids in the classroom. 45 kids.
That's crazy.
It was fucking massive.
Okay, next question. Good parents sometimes have to spank their children.
Strongly
Don't
disagree.
agree.
Strongly disagree.
Don't agree. Well,
Why is mom so quiet?
Oh,
but
mom believes in
there
a
are,
good spanking.
there are times when kids get to a point, drive it to a point where you go, snap.
Okay, what would you do, okay, if little Sydney had this obsession with electrical plugs and he kept taking things and shoving it in the holes, okay, and you keep telling him no, and you've got in your home your plugs covered with a baby proof, they're baby proofed, but he goes to someone else's house and he gets a metal object and he sticks it in the plug.
I wouldn't hit him.
Not if that happened, but you have to be able for certain situations, electrical stuff near a cooker, and if they keep on doing it, you should be allowed to go no. But I don't say batter a kid, but there are certain times when something is so dangerous.
There are times when kids get you to a point when you go, what this
My favorite, Dad, would be when you went to spank us and you'd have us by one arm. And then we got so used to when it was coming that we'd scoot our butts forward and you'd miss our ass. And then you'd get really pissed off even more and you'd go to do it again. And then I'd scoot forward and then you'd end up laughing and letting us go because you couldn't get us.
Oh, but
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that.
I remember that.
I don't.
It's specifically Palisades era.
I remember a picture where Ozzy's holding Jack upside down and Jack's still got his bottle in his mouth. He's still holding it on.
and baby under his arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
I never used to whack you.
I think I remember getting spanked by you once, and then once or twice.
I remember
the
what we were
story
doing.
with
We were
Jack-
sliding down the stairs in a cardboard
The
box.
story
and
with
Dad
Jack
was pissed
I'll
off.
never forget. When we went to the Beverly Centre once, and what does she?
A cat toy, fishing
Yeah,
pole.
and he's fucking crying like a fucking howling wolf. Got on the elevator, and the people on the elevator go, "Shut that kid up, man!" He would cry. I was driving back to the Palisades, and that night I'm lying in bed, going, "You fucking asshole!" My conscience is going, "You fucking asshole!" Oh, you wouldn't have used to buy me that. But I was trying to teach you a lesson. You can't have everything you want.
Yeah.
So the next morning, I felt so bad. It kept me awake half the night, feeling bad about it. I got up in the morning, I was trying to drive me back to the fucking Beverly Centre. So I drove all the way back to the Beverly Centre, bought this fishing pole, drove all the way back, and he goes, "What's that?" He totally forgot.
Yeah.
I tortured myself all night. He didn't know forgot about it the next day.
I just think that there are ways that you can get through to kids without like spanking.
But
them.
but
Yeah,
what
no,
I'm
I
saying,
don't think-
what I'm saying, there are times when people snap.
Yeah.
When kids go, you would drive your mother up the fucking wall on a regular basis.
I was in a lot of pain
Fuck.
and just mental discomfort.
Kelly,
Oh,
Kelly,
get the woke book out,
Kelly,
for God's
you-
sake.
What has
I
being
ho-
woke got to do with it?
I identified as this, and
I never-
I
what
had
the fuck are
mental
you on
issues.
about?
Oh, bollocks.
Mum, what actual bollocks? What are you on
What
about?
were you in a lot of pain over?
Mum, I was joking.
We'll save that for another episode.
Sorry, I thought you were being serious.
No.
When you said mental pain, sorry.
We were in fucking pain.
We know.
Well, clearly there must have been something wrong if I was that upset.
Oh, Kelly. You didn't have to have a reason. You just would. Don't you remember the fucking Bloom episode in the zoo?
No.
Fucking hell. Go to London Zoo. And there again, there was a fucking guy with 1,000 balloons.
Oh, is that when I let go of the balloon?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Twice.
The fucking monkeys was telling me to fucking shut you up. You went fucking ballistic for about fucking 3 days. And you've still remembered.
I'd remember the fishing rod.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think, especially because I have girls. Like,
Oh, you got your
with
got your problems coming.
Oh, I know. But as far as spanking goes, it's like I never want to. My thing is I'm never spanking the girls because they should never get used to a man hitting them.
No.
But you're a good dad, Jack. You're better than I was.
I don't know about that.
Your mum most of the time to be the mum and the dad. Because I was fucking out there for years.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But in my fucked up way, I always loved you.
You were the best dad. I know that you had your hurdles.
I could have been a lot better.
Yeah, you can always be better.
You can
as a
always be
parent.
better at anything.
Oh,
that you
in
do.
hindsight, when you look back, you go, oh, Jesus, did I really do that? Why did I act that way? And you never...
But, you know, I'm always saying to your mum now, all the time, I go, you know, I'd love to have our kids back, babies for a
again.
week.
That's what I keep trying to explain to Sid, is that this time is so precious because he's only a baby for such a short amount of time.
Waits for no man. All of a sudden, and I should say to you all, save your tears for you when you really need them. Because it's fucking...
Do you know, every single time I cry, I hear you say that to me in my head. Save your tears for when you really need them. Or I hear, every action has a reaction.
But that's basic things you're trying to teach your kid. But it's to hit. When I would smack your bone, I'd beat myself up all fucking day for doing it. I mean, I go, why the fuck do you have to drive me to that?
I remember getting spanked one time for something I totally deserved. Remember when I put my fingers in the candle wax and wiped it on your...
Silk wallpaper, yeah.
What about the fucking circles on the wall?
And the candle wax was green.
Green, I know.
What about putting the fucking cat and in the fucking crystal room?
Yeah.
Smashing all the fucking...
Doing the wall of death, 2 cats. No, the dog and the cat.
We put the dog and the cat
Fucking hell.
in the same room.
Every vase, glass bottle, was smashed. What about the fucking can of beans in the fucking microwave?
That was me and Jack.
Oh, we want to heat up the beans.
That was me and Jack, and we hid it. We were like, who are we going to say
Smoke
did it?
was bellowing out the fucking...
Do you want to know what the common theme was with all this? Putting the dog in the room, putting the beans in the microwave. There was never a fucking adult around.
Oh, where's
Think
the
about
violin?
it. No,
Get
I'm just
the
saying.
violin.
No, I'm not saying it should have been you. I'm just saying, even with the fucking
what
900...
about Dad, my scooter's been stolen. I'll buy you another one.
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm just saying it. Whoa, guilty conscience. I didn't say
No.
I said there was no adult. I never said there was no parents. So where were the nannies and all them?
Well, we never abandoned you.
No, we were never abandoned. But
We had nanny after fucking nanny with you.
I know. I mean, it was a fucking rough job. When you were troubled, it's better to not think about it, but to keep busy with cheerful things.
No, when I'm troubled, it fucking drives me insane.
Same. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I don't think it's better.
That's one thing I'm glad I got that them devices to look at that, because if me alone in bed with my bed is fucking torture.
I know, same.
Because your mum can go to sleep. I'm awake walking around the fucking house all that when I'm in trouble.
Well, I'm neurospicy, so my head never stops. I never, like, people, you know, when they talk about their meditation experiences and how they can completely switch off.
I've been trying to meditate for fucking 50 years. I can't meditate because my head won't let me. What are you doing? You remember when you did that? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the question?
I haven't asked the question.
Oh, all right.
No, the
then.
question is, when you were troubled, is it better to not think about it, but to keep busy with cheerful things?
I will think.
I try not to think about it.
You bury your head in the sand and don't think about it.
She can just go, forget about it.
I don't have that ability.
My head looks for the things I haven't done yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it just depends. It depends on what you're troubled about. If it's something you can control, if you have an ability to fix it, then you should think about it. If you have no ability to fix it and you're completely powerless, then might as well bury. I mean, what can you do about it? You can't. Don't waste the energy.
Yeah, but you can't say you can't say to your head, stop thinking about that.
Yeah.
Because your head goes no, because we don't.
I just take a pill.
Okay.
Okay.
Good for you.
I used to take a fucking few drinks.
Mum doesn't mean that she's like popping pills, like.
That sounded like she's
I
fucking
know,
popping
she's not.
pills.
That Mum
She drinks pills.
When you ruminate,
Mum has a problem with rumination, so do I. And
rumination?
I'm on a special medication
over
for it.
and over and over
It's
again.
looping thoughts.
You can't stop it, and it's the one thought
You're
going
talking about
over
me,
and over
but
and over.
But it's never a nice thought. If it would be nice for my head now and again to go, nice thought. Because if I have a nice thought, it's my nice thought gets sabotaged in about 5 seconds with 1,000,001 bad things that haunt my head. I will still get freaked out about things I did when I was a kid.
Same. Embarrassed, cringe.
Oh,
I'll
it's
go through the
fucking
whole
terrible.
emotional experience all over again.
Oh my God! I would never. Oh no.
Are you ready for the final question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. It's natural for children to keep some secrets from their parents.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think it's human nature, and no matter how close you are with your children, there will always be some stuff that they will not want to share with you.
And it's because I don't want you to ever be ashamed of me or embarrassed of me or anything like that. Or some things that I think that are just...
But it's not just children. I mean,
I don't.
you know, when
Yeah,
people
I mean-
say to you, if you say to someone, "How you doing?" and they go, "How am I doing?" Actually, it's fucking crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's.
People go, "Oh, I'm fine, thanks."
I think having secrets is. But it just depends on the secret, though.
Yeah, it's human nature.
Sometimes
There's things that are just personal
It's
to
not-
you that are not for everybody
it's not-
because of
it's
their
not-
opinions on...
You don't want to make that person unhappy or unhappier by saying, "Well, your wife was screwing or whatever."
Well, no, I'm thinking. But wait, we're talking about kids, though.
No, okay. I did steal that money out your purse.
Yeah.
I did that when I was a kid.
A lot.
I
used to
be
not to
obsessed with
spend.
the game Monopoly. I didn't do it to
Yeah,
steal,
no, I know.
or I got
know.
it so that when we played Monopoly later
must have
on,
been-
I had all the money and I won the game.
There must have been $3,000 in the fucking purse.
In the toy room.
in the toy room. Yeah, I didn't understand what money was. I thought it was all for playing games.
I'd get the float. I'd go. I was thinking your mum was taking it out. You'd go, brown envelope ripped open. It's 500 quid gone.
Can you hear baby upstairs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Can we end now so I can go play with him?
You
This is Kelly.
gotta go check to see if he's keeping any secrets. Alrighty. Well, this has been spirited. I'm surprised no arguments
I'm fucking
ensued.
worn out. And that's a good
I know,
thing
I'm pretty
to-
worn out too.
Good
I'm
job
like,
you're
oh.
flying to England, Mum, because you'll have a lot to think about on the plane, all these questions.
Can we
I
have
wish
a
you
more
weren't going, Mum.
upbeat?
Wish I wasn't.
Yeah, we
going.
should have a more upbeat, fucked up
Yeah, I'll have to go.
Q&A next time.
For $10,000, would you?
Yeah, we could just play like Fuck, Marry, Kill.
That might be fun.
What?
But I don't want to play fuck, marry, anything with my parents.
What?
Or kill. What about kill?
Well, you see, like if someone did something terrible to Dad, I'd be on like Team Osbourne, and
Do you remember when we were on that plane? We'll save the story. We will save the story when you and we were like The Exorcist. Our heads went,
what?
What was that for?
I went, you better fucking watch your mouth. And then he kind of shit himself, but then Mum stood up and
What was
fucking
this?
put them
You two
in their
are
place.
fucking like the dynamic duo. She'll start, then you'll go in.
It's a 1-2 punch, right, Cal?
No, usually I'm the one who notices it, and Mum's noticing it too, and I'll say something, but then Mum finishes it.
Let's say goodbye.
Goodbye.
So long, farewell.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, Auntie Jean.
Bye,
Bye,
Auntie
Auntie Jean.
Jean.
Bye.
Bye.